Major General Rampaka led Fiji's first coup in 1987. He's speaking here to Geraldine Cook.
My original supporters have turned away from me, the Council of Chiefs and the Methodist Church. So maybe we are into a new era of politics in Fiji which does not need my services.
The new decree that stipulates eligibility rules for the next general election, particularly when it comes to political parties, does your SBT now struggle to do that?
I think we would have difficulty meeting the requirement, but the main reason for the SBT not being able to continue is that we have an indigenous Fijian name. They need all the new political parties to have an English name.
This is Radio Australia. Hi, I'm Rochelle Hunt. Finish This Sentence is a program where I hit the streets and ask everyday people to finish a sentence. What I found out too late was... Am I allowed to say anything? Absolutely. That I married the wrong person the first time. You'll meet some amazing people who open up and speak from the heart in the middle of a busy street when I ask them to finish this sentence. If I had my crown again, I would...
Do everything different.
I believe in man is good by nature. Finish this sentence. Seems like a good idea at the time.
But I probably should not have gone to work to cause an injury to my neck.
I've never been so afraid. And my dad told us not to run. And then all of a sudden he said, run. Finish this sentence with me, Rochelle Hunt. I want revenge. I want to be successful at everything I wasn't ever supposed to be successful at. Sunday morning at 9:30 Sydney Summertime on Radio Australia. Radio Australia News, I'm Wendy Everett. The headlines: reports a suicide bomber has targeted the US Embassy in Turkey. A deadly bomb attack outside a mosque in northwest Pakistan. And Hillary Clinton steps down as US Secretary of State. 2 security guards have been killed in a blast outside the US Embassy in the Turkish capital, Ankara, with speculation that it was a suicide attack. The force of the explosion damaged nearby buildings in an area where there are many other state institutions and embassies. NTV Television is reporting that a person detonated a bomb at a security roadblock near the entrance to the embassy's visa section, where dozens of people wait every day. Police in Pakistan say at least 19 people have been killed in a bomb blast outside a mosque in the town of Guangzhou, close to the Afghan border. The BBC's Ola Gurin reports from Islamabad. Officials say the bomb exploded as people left the mosque after Friday prayers. The bomber struck in a narrow laneway containing 2 mosques, one for Sunni Muslims, the other for minority Shias. Hindu has a history of sectarian violence, and police say that Shias were the target this time. But Sunni Muslims were also among the victims, according to the local police chief, because the blast was so close to their place of worship. Attacks on Shias are increasing. A double bombing in the city of Quetta last month killed more than 90. The Taiwanese Premier Sean Chen has announced he's stepping down for health reasons, with Vice Premier Jiang Yihua set to replace him. The 63-year-old says he needs to completely overhaul his life and work situation due to health problems. Mr. Chen took office last year, heading a cabinet that's frequently come under attack for its poor handling of the economy. The prestigious United States newspaper, The Wall Street Journal, says Chinese spying on the US media has become a widespread phenomenon. The Journal is the second major US newspaper to claim its system has been infiltrated by Chinese hackers. Owned by Rupert Murdoch's News Corp, the Journal says the attacks were to monitor the paper's coverage of China. Yesterday, the New York Times claimed it had been targeted by hackers, possibly connected to the Chinese military, after it ran an expose on the wealth accumulated by the family of Chinese Premier Wen Jiabao. The Chinese Defence Ministry has dismissed the accusations as baseless. An online campaign has been launched in Saudi Arabia to protect the rights of abused children. Thea Manning reports the Twitter campaign was started in response to the death of a 5-year-old girl who was allegedly tortured by her father. The details of 5-year-old Lama's death caused outrage when they emerged late last year. Her father, an Islamic preacher, was arrested on suspicion of having beaten her so badly she later died in hospital. Some reports suggest he mistreated her because he believed she'd lost her virginity. Local media says the judge absolved the man after he agreed to pay blood money, cash that can be paid to relatives of a murder victim, which if they accept can replace the death sentence. The report says the money required would have been double if the child was a boy. This caused outrage in the country and a Twitter campaign demanding legislation to criminalise violence against women and children. The US Secretary of State Hillary Clinton has given her farewell address the day before she officially steps down from her post. Mrs. Clinton says she's deeply concerned about the Syrian conflict as well as Iran's nuclear ambitions, but she remains optimistic about the future. She says serving as America's Secretary of State has been the great honour of her life.
After 4 years in this job, traveling nearly 1 million miles, I know what it's like when that blue and white airplane emblazoned with the words United States of America touches down in some far-off capital. And I get to feel the great honor and responsibility it is to represent the world's indispensable nation.
British prosecutors say the 2 Australian radio hosts who made a prank call to the hospital treating Prince William's